So, did you want to talk about Eat the Elephant? Or do you want me to do it?
We can talk about it if you want.
So we got Eat the Elephant. We had a request to discuss it. The new album by Perfect Circle. And it's a good album. And I don't know where I'd put it with their other stuff. You can tell Maynard's older. That happens. You can tell he's wiser. And you can also tell that he's sending a message with this album.
Absolutely.
To stop being asses. I think
Yes.
there is a don't be an ass message in this album. And while I enjoy all of the tracks, it starts out quiet, which is different for a Perfect Circle album. I find when I put it in, I actually start with the fourth track a lot of the time, which is The Doomed. Now, full disclosure, The Doomed is I think the best song on the album. We heard that one live when we went and saw them last November, and I just considered it the Beatitudes song.
Yes, that's what we were calling it when we left.
Because they were talking about the meek and the merciful. I'm like, wait, this is the Beatitudes, which is weird because I haven't gone to church.
And then they talk about the new Beatitudes.
Yeah, and but before they even got to that, before I'd even listened to that part, I was like, wait, these are the Beatitudes.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, and I haven't gone to church in a long time. I think I would light on fire if I walked into a church service now.
That's not how churches work.
I think you'd hear like the voices from The Omen.
No.
These the voices, right? And then you'd see lightning and fire, and then I'd scream and you'd see my eyes just melt. So yeah. But The Doomed is a great song, and it sends a very not subtle message, and it's followed by So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, which is a very uplifting, wonderful song if you avoid the fact that it's talking about the fact the world's coming to an end.
It's not uplifting.
But it sounds like it because it's got this fun tune, and it's very bouncy, and you can dance to it, and it's very... And So Long...
loves that one. She likes to sing along to it.
And So Long and Thanks for All the Fish is a phrase from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is why it's awesome. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, one of my favorites, and knowing that Maynard's read the books... is awesome. And the only reference to that is where he talks about the dolphins are gone. The dolphins leave the Earth in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy just before the Earth gets destroyed. So his feeling is the Earth's going to get destroyed. That's the message of the song. But it's very catchy. It's a catchy, wonderful little tune. Just avoid the message behind it and you'll be good. Talk Talk has a lot going for it. The first few times I listened to Talk Talk, I was not a big fan, but it has really grown on me. And it is a very important song. And again, very religious. The religious overtones in this album are unavoidable.
Yes, it is very...
And I'm not
just religious, it's Christian.
And I'm not of that ilk, but I enjoyed the album. I enjoyed it a lot.
Adelaide really likes that song too.
But it's funny because outside of those three songs, the rest of it is good, and it just sort of all blends. It reminds me of a good Pink Floyd album, in that it just every song flows. They all have a message to them. They all work well into one another, and you have your singles in the middle. You have your hooks in the middle, like Pink Floyd always had hooks in their albums. But this is an experience. This is not something where you should just listen to one or two tracks and go, that's not too bad. If you listen to the entire thing, right from the first track, which is Eat the Elephant, to the last track, which is Get the Let Out, it starts slow, works its way up, builds itself up into songs like The Doomed, So Long, and Thanks for All the Fish, and Talk Talk. And then it winds around a little bit before it winds back down at the end of the album. And it winds down in such a way that going from track 12 back to track 1, because we have a DVD player in the band, so we listen to DVDs. CDs. CDs are these round discs that you listen to music on before MP3s. So for kids watching this, you'll be like, what? And yeah, that's fine. But you can listen to this album multiple times and we heard... And the only reason that I kind of click in like, because The Doomed comes back on, which of course means I have to listen to it again. It makes me very excited for a new Tool album, which should be out somewhere between now and 2025. I have no faith in a new Tool album coming out.
Maynard was just talking about it yesterday.
Maynard lies.
No.
Maynard lies.
No.
Maynard has been caught lying before about the new Tool album.
No.
He and the band get together, him and Danny Carey especially, they'll get together and they'll come up with some kind of lie to say either it's further out than it's supposed to be or it's closer than it's supposed to be, and then they laugh at all of us for lapping it up.
No.
So, if you're waiting for Tool, you might as well pick up Perfect Circle and listen to it while you wait, because it might be a while. Because I have no faith. It's sort of like, and the other thing that Tool kind of does, and Rammstein does this too, is they'll get all their tracks all together, and then they'll go, and they'll start over again. Or they'll be like,
Yes.
we could tweak something, and the next thing you know, they're doing complete re-recordings. So until there's an actual CD in my grasp, I'm not making any plans on enjoying it. Now, that being said, the other CD I wanted to touch on that we got recently is Amerikant by Ministry.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite different in its messaging than...
No, it's the same message.
Okay,
Really.
okay.
It really
Here's
is.
the difference. Here's the difference. Maynard is coming to us and saying, please be nice to each other and stop falling down this hate spiral. Al Jorgensen and Al Jorgensen and Ministry are showing up saying, we want to set your house on fire. Which end do you want us to start with? And that house is the American government. And it's funny because, Antifa was the first video released. Smart move. It's not the strongest song on the album. It's not. But if you're going to write an album and if you're going to release an album, but if you're going to release an album where you've got a very clear message, you might as well start with Antifa as your first video.
It's true, yeah.
The funny part is...
Don't hide what your message is.
The funny part is...
Not that he ever...
There are people who are making comments to the Antifa video saying, oh, well, if Ministry's going to be all political, I'm not listening to them anymore.
I don't think they ever listened to Ministry then.
Their biggest hit was NWO, which is a very anti-government song. My favorite song of theirs is Breathe. Very anti-government because it's pro-Earth. So as long as it's pro-Earth, Breathe is one of the greatest songs in the history of music. Really and truly is. It just for the drums at the start, the live version, I used it in my podcast last week where I used just the first minute of the live version, just the drums. It's so much fun. But the new Ministry album, Amerikant, makes me feel like Al Jorgensen needs a Republican in charge to hate to really and truly write good music. Because I have the album before this, which has songs like Change of Luck and stuff like this on it. And there's the anti-Fox News song they have on that one.
Yeah.
And there's some fun stuff. There's some fun stuff. But really, honestly, it's not as angry as this. This album is very, very angry. And the Amerikant is spelled with 3 Ks. If you like Ministry, you already know their political leanings. And you will greatly enjoy this album. I don't find there's a lot I can sing along with on this one, but that's okay.
It's Ministry. You can't really sing along with Ministry.
I can sing along with Breathe.
Well, kind of, I suppose.
I can sing along with Breathe. And Faith collapsing.
Well, I guess, this one there's a lot more of, sound clips.
Yeah. We'll call them sound clips, and we'll go with that.
Well, right.
And I'm going to say right now, for people who are...
just call it quote, because it's actual...
For people
sound
who support the current president of the United States, this album is not for you. It's just not.
No.
But for anybody who's a Ministry fan...
think it's hilarious.
But for Ministry fans, you already knew his political leanings anyways. They've never hidden them. Never. And except for when they were kind of a Euro pop band in the 80s, but we don't talk about that. So
that's a different Ministry.
For me, the Ministry CD is fun. It's torture for the kids because they know if I'm there, I'm going to be putting in Ministry.
It's not, that's not true. They do like it.
Some of it. But they'd rather listen to Five Finger Death Punch or Tool or Rammstein or Dead's or pretty much anything else we listen to. Ministry's right in around the bottom.
They don't mind Ministry, though. they think the sound clips for this album are really funny.
But for me, all hail Al Jorgensen.
Right.
That's the ultimate. That's the bomb.
Well,
That's
you
amazing.
Might have put that in like every single time we were in the band.
Because the drum beat at the beginning is amazing.
I know.
It's just the tracking and the sampling and all the stuff they do. Holy cow! It's Al Jorgensen. You know.
I do know. I've heard it a few times.
You're stupid. You're stupid. And I'm like, yeah, I'm stupid. Damn straight. Yeah. I love Ministry. Give me some Al Jorgensen.
You're a dork.
It's fun. It is fun. So, there you go. If you're in the market for new albums, I would highly recommend those ones. Do we want to talk about Ashes to New?
Oh, sure. They're awesome.
Their new album's called Future.
It's fun.
And it's a good album.
I do really like it. I've listened to it a couple times now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it, but I really like Ashes to New. Anyways, they definitely have the same type of feel as Linkin Park, though they are different, of course. But it's that same style of music.
Right.
No, the camera does not need to come over to me because I'm just like laying down here.
Okay.
But it's a fun album. It has a lot of catchy songs.
It does. And the lead single from this album doesn't sound like them. So if you hear a single from Ashes to New, it doesn't sound like them. The track is different, and I'm not sure why you. And this kind of drives me nuts about bands when this happens. That the lead single doesn't sound like their other music. So people will hear it and go, "Oh, this is good. I will get it," but they may get it for the wrong reasons.
Oh, see, I guess I didn't even really notice that.
It sounds completely different. It sounds much more commercial than their other songs.
There's a lot of bands that have songs that sound different, though.
But this is different. Like, we had their last album as well. And this feels more polished and more commercial than the last one. And it definitely feels like they're trying to use this single to... And I understand that you got to promote the band however you want, but a single should sound like the rest of the stuff that the band sings. Or it's kind of off-putting for people who get the album. And again, we're in a whole different age. We're in the digital music age, right? And I've got all these movies, all these DVDs behind me, and DVDs over here.
About that you said sounds different, though.
I don't remember the name of the song, but the single sounds completely different.
Their single's Crazy. That's the one that that they love.
Yeah, it's different. It's different.
I don't think it's that different.
It's different. The vocals, the way that it's composed, it's different. Oh. It just feels different. And again, it's good. It's a good album. It's a good song. But there are going to be people who hear it and then go, well, this is different than the rest of what is the rest of this? It just sounds like Linkin Park. And that's
Crazy has that same style though, I think.
Mildly. But it is different. The vocals sound a little different, everything sounds a little different. Okay. So there you go. I think those are all the albums we've got because tomorrow your album releases.
Yeah, and I hope it doesn't take forever to get here. That'd be really sad.
I ordered it for you.
I know, but the Ashes to New, we didn't get it for like a week.
Because Ashes to New is not as popular.
I know, but still, it took a week and a half after it was released to get it.
Five Finger Death Punch's new CD opens or releases tomorrow.
Which is super exciting.
And we've heard, I think, 4 of the songs from it.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I'm not a big Five Finger Death Punch fan. I'm going to be completely honest. She thinks they're amazing. I think they're
fun.
They're okay.
They're pretty cool.
They're all right.
They're awesome.
I don't dislike them. I just have other bands that I would listen to before them.
I like them.
If she did a top 50 favorite artists, they're in her list. They're not in mine.
They'd be very high in my list.
They would be very high up on your list.
They're one of my favorites.
They're very good at every CD sounding kind of the same. But I'm getting the stink eye, so I'm just going to stop right there. But yeah, that releases tomorrow. I think it's called Here's Another Album by Five Finger Death Punch. It sounds like the
Shit.
last one. But there are a couple of songs off the new album that I think are pretty okay. And they did a cover of Gone Away by The Offspring on their Greatest Hits album, which a lot of people didn't like. I enjoyed it because it was different. And Gone Away
And
shouldn't...
it took you a little bit to realize what song it was, and you were just like, wait, how do you know all the words to this song? Because it would be my favorite song from The Offspring, so...
She likes The Offspring. When they
I
played
love
those
Offspring.
15 minutes in Abbotsford last year,
It was not 50,
she was really excited.
Shannon.
Well, it was 12 and a half if you
Was
include them
not
walking out on
such a
stage.
brat.
They played 3 songs and left. I mean, I sat through 4 hours of Sublime to get there, so it was totally worth it.
Shannon slightly exaggerates things.
Oh, it felt like it. And they came out and they sang Gotta Keep 'Em Separated and
They sing a bunch
hit
of
that,
songs.
and then they left.
That's not what happened.
And then they
at
left.
all.
And they let us sing Hit That because the lead singer was leaving.
That's not true.
He's like, all right, guys, you got this. He just throws the microphone down and he's gone.
So not what happened.
I'm driving away. Hee hee hee.
Whatever.
And then Sublime offered to come out and do an encore, and I ran for the doors.
That's not what happened.
So, you know, I'm not a Sublime fan. Not exactly. There's only so much ska reggae I can handle, and then my brain starts to melt.
See, I think you would have done better if the opening before Sublime
It was also ska.
wasn't ska.
I was like, holy crap, I'm in ska hell. We had a ska opening band, and now Sublime is exactly this. Oh my god. And they were another one too. Sublime was another one too. When they released a single, it didn't sound as crappy as all the rest of their stuff. And every song sounded exactly the same. So I was watching these people around me singing along, and I'm thinking, how can you tell? They're all the same song.
See, in Shannon, but there are people that would think that about Rammstein.
No, Rammstein's songs all sound completely different. They don't have the same timing. They don't have the same instruments in some of them. They don't have the same fire. The fire is different with each one. Sublime, if you lit a fire, the whole place would have gone up. With all the smoke in there.
I'm just saying that you say all these bands, all their songs sound the same, but there are people that would think the same thing of bands that you like as
No,
well.
they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't.
Yeah, they would.
No. I don't think so. Tell me which 2 Honeymoon Suite songs sound the same. That doesn't exist. It's not a thing. Honeymoon Suite was just badass. So badass they weren't in my top 50 favorites because they just would have beaten them all up. She's shaking her head. I don't know why.
It's a mystery.
I don't listen to bands that all their songs sound the same though. It's part of the reason why I can't get into reggae. I can't get it because I can handle like Red Wine I liked in the 80s. That was okay. Kinda.
I wouldn't call that reggae.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And the police had that to them too. They had that reggae style sort of beat to them. And I didn't mind some of the police stuff, but then when the police had hit songs, it was like Every Breath You Take, Wrapped Around Your Finger, which had a different beat to them entirely. Again, selling people a false product. But it was the police, so it was okay.
It's not selling people a false product.
It is. If they hear the song and they go, okay, I really like this song, and they buy the album, and the album's completely different. It'd be like if Marilyn Manson did a duet with Christina Aguilera. And it was this really nice pop song. And you get it, and it's this nice pop song.
That would be terrible.
And the rest of it is Marilyn Manson.
Okay, but that's not selling people a different product. That's making a different song.
Right.
They're musicians. They can make whatever music they feel like.
No, they have to make the music that I like.
No.
Yes.
They're not a musician for you. They're a musician for them.
They kind of are.
You just happen to like what they make.
I'm a YouTuber, and the public owns me, so I own them.
No.
That's kind of how it works.
No.
Yeah, I'm kind of right.
No.
So there you go.
That's not how this works.
So Eat the Elephant gets a recommendation from both of us. Amerikant.
Yeah, Maynard sounds amazing.
Amerikant gets a recommendation from me. I don't know about you. Well, I'm not going to speak for you on that one. I know we both love Eat the Elephant. I don't know if you love Amerikant or if you just tolerate it because you know I'm going to be out of the van in a while.
Well, I listened to Ministry back when I was 16.
Which doesn't necessarily mean this album would be up your alley. Because it's different.
I've liked Ministry longer than you've liked Ministry.
No, because I liked Ministry when NWO came out. You were 16, it was 97, NWO came out before that, ipso fat, so I win.
Whatever. So yes, it's very Ministry, and
okay, so she recommends that one. Ashes to New, I think we both recommend.
They're fun.
What about the new Justin Bieber?
I haven't heard any of the old Justin Bieber.
What about Drake? Do you recommend Drake songs?
I wouldn't even know a Drake song if I heard it.
Eminem?
I know you like him, but
I like old Eminem.
It's not my thing.
Not current Eminem.
I didn't know he was still making music.
Of course he is, because money. He's only my age.
Right, that's why I wasn't sure that he was even making it.
So there you go.
See, I don't know a lot of the musicians, the pop ones. See, even sometimes you say names of people and I have
it really doesn't.
We music I don't
we
like.
came across there's I think on Cosmo this month they've got Kesha on the front. She looks awful. And you didn't know who she was.
No, why would I?
Because she sang the song TikTok. TikTok was on the radio every 3 seconds.
Not the radio I listen to. I have no idea what TikTok is. What?
I know what I have to listen to after this is done.
Oh, dear Lord.
All right. Thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on any of these albums. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And I swear she's here. It's not like Howard's mother or anything from Big Bang Theory. She's actually here.
To not tell me really before doing the video, and I'm just gonna.
So she's just sort of sitting it out, literally. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.